Hey guys, LechK here in the middle of my sauna build. I wanted to show you guys how to prep rough cut boards into ready sauna panels. So rough cut lumber means it was just cut in a sawmill. It's not smooth, the edges might not be perfect or even. So 3 steps, well more than 3 steps, but 3 main steps. First we gotta cut them to size. I mean the width I want, and I want both sides even. So I'm using a table saw for that. You can also use a hand saw. All you're gonna have to do is take a level, mark one straight line on one end, cut that off. Then with a ruler measure to the other side to have even distance, and then cut that end off. Table saw will make your life easier though. After that, we're gonna hit it with the planer machine and then with the router bit, so you can get the tongue groove edging or shiplap, whatever you want to do, to get the nice intersecting finish as you see here so far. So let me show you guys all the steps. So I have 6-inch boards. I'm gonna cut a 1/4 inch from each side. So I'm gonna start at 5 3/4, get that cut, and I'm starting with the flatter side of the board. So whatever's flatter, I'm gonna put that against my guide here, cut off the more messy edge, and then we'll do the same with the other side. I'm gonna lower it another 1/4 inch. And trim the other side. Alrighty, we got all our boards cut nice and straight now. Some pine, some cedar, and now we gotta plane all these. So we got a planer set up. I did a whole video review on this if you want to really learn how to use it. That's the Hercules brand one from Harbor Freight. They're basically smoothing out our boards now, so they don't have that rough finish. That's optional, but in this video I'm gonna show you guys how to do it. This is basically what you get. Nice smooth board as opposed to the rough cut. Give you guys another close up, but that's really it. Just got 50 more to go. Let's do the cedar plank next. That's really the planing process. I have a more detailed video if you're interested, as mentioned, but I'll get all these done and then we'll be able to move on to the next step, which is the router cutting our grooves in the sides. Also, when you do plane these, get yourself a caliper, so you want to make sure that they're pretty similar thickness, because rough cut lumber won't be all perfectly even. So just wanted to mention one more tip with doing the boards. Shorter pieces will be a lot easier, so if you know what sizes you already need for your sauna, cut them to those sections. It will be a lot easier to run through if you're dealing with rough cut lumber, as it is not perfectly even. We got the router set up now. Boards are ready. I'm gonna be cutting the tongue and groove cut using these bits. I might try another way as well. I'm gonna do a more detailed video on how to use this. But in this video, I'll just show you guys quick clips of how it gets done so we can move on and start actually installing these boards. Let's test fit it. That's perfect. Still have a little motion, but it's good. Snug finish. We are all set. Let's cut some full-size boards and see how. Now I can show you guys full-size boards. You're gonna do the same exact thing. Make sure that everything lines up on the boards, especially if your boards aren't all even. I planed these; they should be pretty close. So I did a couple already. Let's do a couple more. See how they all fit. So our tongue is looking good. Now let's do a groove. And we got our grooves. Let's test fit. So as you guys can see, the idea works. This is gonna be great for the sauna. Alright, so one last step before I start mounting them on the walls. As you see, we have just like a straight plain connection. I want to have something like this, just gives a nicer finish. So I did the first set of boards, and all I used was the basic planer. I didn't have a bit for the router to do it, so I'm doing it by hand. You can also do it with a sander technically, and I might finish all of these with a light sanding, which will even round off the edges more. But let me show you guys quickly how I got that done. So I do have it set on the lowest setting possible, and I'm just gonna try to keep it as even as possible and just run it right down the board on an angle. There we go. And I'm gonna do same with this edge as well. That's really it. Clean it up, but you guys get the idea. And I'm gonna sand down a little bit. 220 grit should do it. Yeah, that feels perfect, man. The planer finish was nice, but with the 220, now we have a nice smooth finish. You really don't have to go any low or higher, but if you want, 320 will work fine as well. Get them all done and install.